Oh, g'day guys. Well, on the couch with Woody for another instalment of my interview, interviewing the Australian up-and-coming country artists of our beautiful country. And today, I'm very happy to announce we have Ben Walker on the couch with me. Hi, Ben.
Hi, how are you?
How are you, mate? Good, fantastic.
Yeah.
Welcome.
Thank you very much. Nice to be here.
That's all right, good. Well, mate, I've known your travels for a little while now, and that you're on the same management company as myself. But we like to get straight into it and sort of at least give your audience and the listeners out there who don't know who Ben Walker is. So for me, I'm going to learn a lot about you in this interview as well. And where did the love of music all begin? Let's go right back to the beginning.
Wow.
where your love of music started.
So, as my accent gives away, I was born a little bit north of here.
Yes.
So north of England, it's as cold and rainy as everyone says, everyone predicts. And little kid running around, in the house there's always music playing, Beatles, Fleetwood Macs, American country as well. And I was quite a shy kid. Whenever no one was around, I'd sing away, try and play the air guitar. I still do, but don't tell anybody. And at school, to get into music at junior school, you had to take a test. And I took the test, and I passed the test. And so there's this group of kids, junior school, what would we have been, sort of 9, 10 maybe. And we're all sat around. What instrument are you going to play? And I'm sat there going, I just want a guitar. Must play the guitar. And so the headmaster takes this little meeting of kids who've passed the test. What music instrument do you want to play? It's a guitar. And he looked panicked. And the teacher who's with him looks panicked. Oh, well, this year we don't have a guitar teacher.
Oh, no.
So they try and sell me on the violin. I'm like, I'm not going near the violin. And they're selling me on drums. And now my son plays drums, and I kind of wish I'd gone for drums, but I didn't. And then they said, oh, well, what about cello? Because that's a bit like a guitar.
Not really, but anyway.
No, exactly. And so they give me this cello, and mate, what could go wrong did go wrong. So practice for cello was on a Saturday morning, so it clashed with football practice. So now I'm not doing soccer because I've got to play this cello. And then you've got the big bow, and every time I was practicing at home, whenever my parents weren't watching, I'd turn it on its side, I'd try and play it like a guitar. Then I got involved in this little orchestra, if you like. And so I'm doing these practices on the Saturday, and I'm lugging this cello around. All my mates by this point are going, you really should have gone for a violin, because look how easy it is to carry this thing.
Around,
So I'm lugging this cello around. And one day we're going somewhere with the cello, and my mum's just got a new car, and she's got a Mini. I said, Mum, it's not going to fit in the boot of the Mini. Oh, it'll be fine. It'll be fine. Somehow she gets this cello. It's a 3/4 cello, because I'm not that big. She puts this cello in the boot of the Mini, and as she shuts the boot, we all hear something go crack. That's not good. That's not good. Anyway, our school we were going to, so we get to school, and as I pull this cello out, this it should be a really firm feel to the case, although it's a soft case, and it's all gone a bit limp. And my mum's like, don't open it, it'll be fine. So first time I'm learning from my parents that apparently just ignoring something is the way that it just goes away, it's all good. So I get into school, and I say to the teacher, look, I think something's happened to the cello. Well, what did you do to it? So, well, my mum put it in the boot of the Mini. And she whacks me around the head, this teacher, this is years ago, a long time ago, whacks me around the head. Don't blame your parents for something you've done. I'm like, how do I get as far as possible away from this damn instrument? Because there's nothing good about it at all. And so I gave away the cello, went back to my soccer. But as a kid, I somehow then got into my head, I can't do music.
All right. From that incident?
From that incident, with the whole sort of thing, right, because it was a bit of a struggle. What I didn't realise is, as I was giving it away, my music teacher at school was talking to my parents saying, don't let him stop, he's really good at this.
He's passionate.
But that never got back to me, I'm sure they told me. I'm sure they told me. I just wasn't listening after being traumatised by the cello incident. So at that point, it's like I still love my music, but I wasn't playing anything. And then I get to university, and I fall in with a group of musicians, and you name it, they can play it. And still sort of felt quite self-conscious. So I got into helping them with their band. I did roadieing, and then one day the sound engineer didn't turn up. So they taught me the basics of setting up a desk. And so I became their roadie and sound engineer and got into a few scrapes at uni through that. And so that was a nice way to stay involved a bit. But I still didn't play guitar. And then after uni, I got into banking, and the only reason I got into banking was because a far more well-off person than me bet me that one of these big London banks wouldn't touch somebody like me. This
give you a job.
Northerner, they wouldn't give me a job. So I applied, and they applied, and I got the job, and they didn't, which was great to win the bet. But then I ended up in a bank. So I reckon he had
really won.
Yeah, exactly. He had the last laugh, right? But then, of course, I go, I quite like this idea of getting back to the guitar. And so, like anyone who works in the City of London or works in banking, you buy a guitar and you still don't use it. All these bankers have guitars all over the places, but they can't play them. And then it actually took until my 40th or 41st birthday, and probably absolutely sick of hearing this story, my wife bought me some guitar lessons. And I said, okay, that's awesome. I'm going to give this a go. I said, I'm going to make one rule. There were 5 lessons, and then we had to pay for extra after that. I said, once I've done my 5 lessons, any day I don't practice, we cancel the guitar lessons. So, because I've got all this history of, with music not quite working out. So a year goes by, and I've played every single day, and there's the chance to actually do a bit of a showcase, and so I did that. So I did the first live performance after a year, and then I wanted to try my hand at writing my own music, so my guitar tutor helped me with that. I'm 47 now, so that was 6 years ago, and then that led to a decision to quit my job. And take some time out, get into a music degree, and I met somebody at uni who was a producer, and it's sort of gone from there.
Snowboard.
12 singles later.
Wow, so you don't have an album out yet, but it's all singles next year?
Yeah.
But that's a great story. You give me a massive segue in one chunk of your life, but when you said those times, that first trauma, that you call it a trauma, and it was meant to be an exciting and fun part of your life, being at primary school and starting an instrument, which is, I was fortunate enough to have, like in my early sort of teens, a teacher who put me on the drums, and then I started to forge a career and forge a love of learning instruments, and that you never lose, So would that have been, when you look back on it, I mean, you say trauma, and we don't take that lightly, would that be like a part of your life when you look back on it now going, well, I feel a bit of regret that I didn't get into this earlier? Is that right to say that? Or?
Absolutely. Look, you look back a little bit on what might have been, and it's important to say, right, I'm incredibly fortunate. I have a wonderful life with a wonderful family, and it is what it is, right, and that's great. But yeah, of course, my eldest son has got into music, and he started on guitar, and he struggled a bit. And it was really important for me to support him and encourage him, and he's gone on to the drums, and he's loving the drums, and all of a sudden he feels like he's a musician. And actually we get to Tamworth in a few weeks. I'm guesting with a band, and they've invited my son to come up and play drums. So we're going to do a couple of my songs with him playing drums.
And how old is your boy?
He is just turned 10. So at Tamworth last year, he was watching one of the bands play, and he's tapping along, and he's grabbing straws to use as drumsticks. And I said to him, would you like to be up there? He said, I'd love to, Dad. I said, well, you practice every day this year. Pick 2 of my songs, you practice, we'll make it happen. And do you know he's done it?
Wow,
He's done
in
it.
1 year, that's amazing.
Yeah, so...
proud dad moment.
yeah,
definitely.
so 2 years on drums, but 1 year of solid practice.
Focusing your 2 songs. Oh, well, that's amazing. So, so when you talk about that, and you go from where you've jumped in from your early childhood right through to your 40s, your early 40s, before you start to, would you say the lessons you've learnt from that as resilient, and what would you give to other people to say, I mean, that's just amazing, mate. Like, I take my hat off to you to go at 40 years of age or 41. What would you define that part of your life when you got to 40, 41? Was there something that clicked and said, you know, it's now or never? Or was it a case of I've finally been given the opportunity because I had these free lessons? Or how did that evolve?
I guess there's a few layers to it. The first thing is my wife is the most amazing person, and so through this journey of, you know, she listened to the fact that I wanted to try music, so she gave me that opportunity. But then a few years down the track, I was really struggling in banking. Again, giving me a lot, and that was awesome. But I'd got to the point where life wasn't fun. And it was my wife, Kath, turning to me and saying, you've given this family so much, go and do what you want to do. That's the only thing that matters. So without her and her support, that doesn't happen. And then, funny, as starting to put together the order of the songs on the album and telling the story, I've started to think about this period quite a bit. And at every stage, I was nervous about making the next step, and every stage was a positive.
Wow.
So that's the message, right? For me, that's the learning that...
so feel the fear and do it anyway.
Feel the fear and do it anyway. And there was a quote I read recently, and I won't get it verbatim, but it said that the amateur thinks that they need to conquer the fear before they perform, and the professional realizes that the fear will never go away, and it's part of creating. That makes this sound far grander than it probably is as a story, but I think that's the thing, right?
That's
you're going to
great.
be nervous, but you've got to keep pushing ahead.
Got to keep doing it.
Get your boots on.
In a world driven by visuals, every frame tells a story. Every moment captures emotion. At Speedy Tech Media, we breathe life into your vision. Our dedicated team of experts craft unforgettable experiences. We don't just shoot videos, we create memories that last a lifetime. Join us in making your dreams a reality. Elevate your brand with Speedy Tech Media. Contact us today. Let's tell your story together.